A ship is found drifting in open water. Sails still up, cargo untouched. A hot meal sitting on the table, half eaten, and not a single person on board. No blood, no signs of struggle, no note. The lifeboat is gone, but everything else, clothes, valuables, even the crew's personal belongings, is exactly where it should be. So where did an entire crew go, in the middle of the ocean, without taking anything with them? This isn't fiction. Ghost ships like this have been found for centuries, every time investigators face the same impossible puzzle. If people panicked and abandoned ship, why leave money and food behind? If something attacked them, where's the damage? And if nothing was wrong at all, why did trained sailors choose to jump into open ocean?
Let's go back to the moment the ship was discovered. A passing vessel spots it drifting, sails intact, moving with the wind like nothing happened. They board it, expecting to find bodies. Instead, they find silence. A ship in perfect working order, with 0 human beings on it. The captain's log was the first clue. The final entries were completely normal. Routine weather notes, routine navigation. No mention of danger, no mention of fear. Then, the entries simply stop. Mid-voyage. No explanation. That's when everything changed for investigators. A crew doesn't vanish mid-sentence unless something happened fast, faster than anyone had time to write it down. So what could make an entire trained crew abandon a functioning ship in open water without a fight? One leading theory involves something almost nobody expects: the cargo itself.
Investigators later discovered that the ship's hold contained barrels of alcohol, some of which had begun to leak fumes. Maritime historians studying similar cases suggest that a buildup of flammable vapor could have caused the crew to fear an imminent explosion. Panic in that scenario isn't irrational. It's survival instinct overriding logic in seconds. Here's where the psychology gets interesting. Research on group panic shows that under sudden, ambiguous threat, humans default to a behavior called social proof. One person moves toward what looks like safety, and the rest follow almost instantly without verifying the danger is real. A study on crowd evacuation behavior found that people are far more likely to imitate the actions of others. It may not have taken a real explosion. It may have taken one person's fear, spreading through the crew in seconds. But then scientists discovered something unexpected. The lifeboat, which was missing, was tied to the ship using a long rope, a technique sailors used specifically so a small boat could be tethered to a larger vessel during uncertain conditions.
That rope was found frayed, not cut, which means it likely snapped under tension, in rough water, separating the lifeboat from the ship entirely. That single detail rewrites the entire mystery. The crew may not have chosen to leave forever. They may have expected to reconnect with the ship shortly after, only for the rope to break, leaving them stranded in open ocean while their own ship drifted away without them. Think about the horror of that moment. Not a dramatic attack, not a mutiny, just a rope snapping in the dark, turning a temporary precaution into a permanent, fatal separation. But the real mystery isn't what happened to the ship. It's what happened to the crew afterward. No bodies were ever found, no wreckage from the lifeboat. The ocean simply closed over what happened next. Oceanographers studying drift patterns note that a small boat lost in open water could travel hundreds of miles before ever being seen. Statistically, most never are.
So the ship survived. The cargo survived. The meal on the table stayed exactly where it was left. But the people who built that life, who trusted that ship, who believed a rope would hold, they disappeared into a version of the ocean that gives very few answers back. And that's the unsettling truth beneath every ghost ship story ever recorded. It's rarely the dramatic explanation people want. No monsters, no mutiny, no supernatural force. Usually, it's something far smaller. A frayed rope, a moment of fear, a decision made in seconds that can never be undone. Maybe that's what makes these stories haunt us more than any horror film could. Not because something terrifying happened, but because something completely ordinary. A rope, a wave, a moment of doubt, was enough to erase an entire crew from history. So the next time you're on solid ground, ask yourself this: how many of the decisions that define your life happen in a single unnoticed second? A second you won't even remember making until it's already too late to take back.